Wilson. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look.
Anthony Mackie was always pushing shit uphill, replacing Chris Evans as Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But giving him a villain whose superpower is basically maths certainly didn't help. Having Tim Blake Nelson reprise the role of the leader from the largely forgotten early MCU outing The Incredible Hulk from 2008 feels like doing an exam in high school where the teacher has deliberately picked the most obscure part of the textbook. Movies are not supposed to give you that feeling. Not only is the leader's propensity for probabilities the least cinematic superpower since whatever it is that Madam Web does, Nelson's facial prosthetics are laughably stupid in a way that ruins every scene he's in. Was he meant to look like a mildly menacing head of broccoli? If so, you guys freaking nailed it. If that's not bad enough, his evil plot relies on mind control that looks like it was stolen from Will Ferrell's Mugatu in Zoolander. Let me get this right. A song triggers a deadly rampage. Wow. At least Mugatu chose a bona fide banger in Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Given that's what Mackie is working with here, and a script that has him saying gems like, "The telescopes must be a facade, let's see what's underneath." It's tempting to give the bloke a pass. And it's certainly not his fault the film is buried under a ton of exposition that is so dull it makes the taxation of trade routes in Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace seem scintillating in comparison. Even the fight scenes feel uninspired. Like, we get it, Captain America's shield bounces off stuff. The plot centres on an international treaty to mine adamantium from the body of the dead Celestial featured in 2021's Eternals. Presumably, this is an attempt by Marvel to remind us they have made other movies that are even worse than Captain America Brave New World. That's debatable. The film also finds Mackie's Sam Wilson questioning whether he's worthy to carry the aforementioned vibranium shield, despite being handpicked by his buddy Steve Rogers, who clearly deemed that 6 MCU movies in a standalone TV series as the Falcon was a suitable apprenticeship. In defense of Steve Rogers' decision-making, he was like, 180 years old in Avengers Endgame when he thought that was a good idea, so make of that what you will. Anyway, US President Thaddeus Ross, played here by Harrison Ford, is questioning Sam's worthiness too.
You're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
But he has something more pressing to deal with, namely living up to the film's trailer by eventually turning into the Red Hulk for reasons that will be painfully teased out far too slowly to be interesting. When we finally get to see Ross Hulk out 100 minutes into the 120-minute film, it's too little too late, but director Julius Onah really had no choice. When your lead hero has no powers, a Hulk can kill them pretty easily, even with upgraded gear imported from Wakanda.
You want me? Come and get me!
And then you're only left with the maths guy, and no one wants that. As for the other characters along for the ride, let's get this out of the way as quickly as possible, because you are guaranteed not to care about them and may struggle to even remember their names by the time the post-credit scene arrives. And in case you're wondering, there is one post-credit scene, and it's one of the worst Marvel's ever done. Okay, as for those characters, we've got, and in no particular order, Joaquin Torres, played by Danny Ramirez. This is the guy tapped to be the next Falcon, because that's a character everyone would totally have missed. He's the buddy of Sam Wilson, who also happens to be a tech wizard because I guess he likes to pad out his LinkedIn page. Then there is Ruth Bat Saraf, played by unorthodox star Shira Haas. She's an Israeli former Black Widow assassin who, for reasons that are not explained, runs the president's security detail. Haas is an interesting but not altogether successful casting choice. To be honest, she looks like she walked onto the set of the wrong film. And you've also got Sidewinder, played by Giancarlo Esposito, who is a bonus villain who adds nothing and leaves a very hammy aftertaste. The film also has a couple of cameos, as per all MCU movies, but the most bizarre was having the Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan, apparently cosplaying JD Vance. You'll know what I mean when you see it. The only thing funnier is the repeated suggestion that this dreadfully mediocre film is the jumping off point for a new Avengers team. I hope they start by avenging the 2 hours of my life I wasted watching this movie. Captain America: Brave New World gets 2 stars.
And cut.